Hi, I'm Richard Randall, and welcome to The Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker, owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. This is the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate with Colorado's real estate authority, that is Barb Schlinker. Barb is a retired Navy veteran. Barb is an author. Barb is actually a pilot, and Barb Schlinker enjoys all that Colorado has to offer with her amazing team. Barb, always great to be talking with you. Now, we air the Real Estate Voice show every Saturday, and if you can't listen to the entire show, it is always available on Barb's site. That is barbhasthebuyers.com. That's barbhasthebuyers.com, or go ahead and research Barb on most popular podcast platforms like IHeart Radio. Every week, the Real Estate Voice covers great information about the housing market, and one of the largest assets that anybody has, it's usually their home. Barb, so what will we be talking about today?
Well, Richard, I'm excited about today's show. We've got some interesting topics. The first one is the Colorado market predictions for the housing market. You know, it's kind of weird. We've seen the Fed just increase interest rates over the past 6-8 months, and I guess he's going to continue to do it. That's what we're reading. So it does have an impact on some of the market, but not all of the market. Like just last weekend, Richard, I had an open house and I had 54 people and the price was $675, and that was in 1 hour.
Wow.
So, you know, it's kind of a different market in different pricing sectors. So I'm excited to talk about that. We're also going to talk about what not to fix when selling a house. There's certain things that you really don't need to update. And a lot of people will ask me, well, should I do a full-on rehab, you know? And sometimes you won't get the money out of it. So we'll go into detail on that. And then the third topic is something we talk about often, but it's so critical: how to price your home to sell for top dollar. You would not believe what's going on right now. Open Door went in and bought all these properties, and they paid over just like Zillow did. So now they're turning around and selling them, and they're competing with, you know, mom and pop sellers out there offering screaming deals on these houses that have been updated. So that's hurting the home sellers right now. I get requests all the time. How come my house isn't sold yet? These are from other agents' clients. And then we're going to talk about how to pick the best realtor to sell my house. And of course, I love talking about all of our hot new listings. Richard?
Barb, the Fed has told the world it's determined to raise interest rates until inflation comes down. So, Barb Schlinker, how do you think a rise in interest rates is going to affect the housing market up and down the Front Range?
Well, Richard, like I said, I really feel like it's going to affect the first-time home buyer a lot more strongly than it would affect somebody that might be a move-up buyer or second-time home buyer that has some equity in their home. You know, interest rates right now are in the low 6s for conventional. You can get down in the 5s for FHA and VA loans. But we just came off the biggest boom ever, probably that we'll ever see in our lifetime. And what the Fed is intentionally trying to do, he claims, is bring down inflation. So he keeps raising the mortgage interest rates. What I've been able to research and find out online is he might not raise it quite that much this next time that he meets, maybe 1/4%. So there might be slight demand destruction, but nothing like what we've seen in the in the past 8 months, where it was kind of sticker shock, especially for the younger generation buyers that have never seen rates above 5% in their adult lifetime. So it's a different world. But if you look back over the last 50 years, the average interest rate over that whole time range is over 7%. And right now we're just over 6%. So it's not that bad. It's more a perception than reality. But the issue is most buyers actually buy on payment. So we'll see what happens. You know, a lot of the bloggers online are saying, oh, inflation's, bad and we're going to have a recession. They keep promising a recession. It's really not that bad right now. I'm seeing more showings on my listings. Even the high-end listings are getting lots of showings, lots of activity. It's just not bidding more time. So if you look at kind of the big picture in the state, Redfin is claiming that the Colorado housing prices are down by about 2% compared to last year. But last year, it peaked out in April, and then it corrected a little bit. If you go back a year ago from now, it's really not that bad. The other thing you want to take a look at is, of course, the migration patterns, meaning are people moving to this state or not? And that was really an interesting thing to check out. Colorado is kind of even, with the exception of Denver. Denver is actually one of the top areas where people are moving away from. And many of those counties in Denver, they're coming down to Colorado Springs. So I don't know. If you look at the macro, the whole country's picture, I think it paints a different picture than what we're experiencing right here in Colorado. You're also saying inventory is up. Well, that's not true for most of the counties. Yeah, compared to the boom, the inventory's up, but we're kind of going back to 2019 levels. So, and the housing prices are still high. So what does that mean? You know, the first-time home buyer really has to make a decision about whether or not they rent versus buy. And when you look at what a house payment is across the Front Range of Colorado, Colorado is actually the 14th highest for rents in the country. And I kind of looked at the average rents for homes all up and down the Front Range. On balance, most of the Denver counties were about $2,450 for rent. Boulder's a little bit more than that. El Paso County's a little bit less. Teller County's even less at $1,900. And of course, Pueblo and Fremont counties are in the 1400s. So what does that tell me? If a first-time home buyer can have an equal or less payment if they buy a home versus renting, they're probably going to opt to buy a home if their credit's good and if they have a small down payment to get in the door. It would make sense to do that. I just had somebody purchase one of my listings that was priced on the low end, is priced at $425. Actually, very nice home, but their payment was about $2,400. So slightly more than rent in El Paso County. However, they're owning a beautiful home that has granite in the kitchen and granite in all the bathrooms, great backyard, great location. So, you know, we'll see what happens with mortgage rates. The expectation overall is they might climb back up into 7%, but right now they're in the low 6s. So if you're thinking of making a move, you really want to hire an agent that knows how to handle the market during a market correction. The last thing you want to do is overprice a home and slowly walk the price down. It must be priced right in order to create demand. The other things that you control to create demand are condition of the home, preparation, and we can help you with that. And then the agent controls marketing. And don't let an agent cause demand destruction by giving you some unrealistic expectations about where the home should be priced. Because if you price it high and slowly walk the price down, you're gonna net less money. So if you are thinking of making a move, give us a call. I'm Barb Schlinker with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. I've been here in the market since the 90s. My website, Barb Has the Buyers, has been up since 2014. I have over 27,000 buyers in waiting on my website. Typically, I can match at least 100 buyers to your home. So if you are thinking of moving in the next 2 to 6 months and you want a free in-person consultation, go to barbhasthebuyers.com, click on Find My Buyer. And if you're not ready now, we've got some great free reports on there. You can go on there and take a look at it, click on the green button, free report, and you can download a report like the top 15 tips to sell your home fast and for top dollar. Richard?
You're listening to The Real Estate Voice. That is Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And you can always reach Barb and her team at 719-301-3900. And we're talking about the impact of a rising interest rate on the housing market. So, Barb, should buyers wait until prices come down in this market?
Well, if you actually go on a mortgage calculator and do the math, it's not a good idea. I don't think the prices are going to come down enough to offset the expected increase in interest rates, which costs you way more money over the long term. What's trending right now in this market is it's really not a buyer's market. It's just not a monster boom where everybody has to compete and pay hundreds of thousands over asking prices. Not that market right now. The trend is to a little higher supply and lower demand. Interest rates are key. So if you can lock in the low sixes or even the upper fives for a VA loan right now, go get a contract and make it happen. And if you get pre-approved, I want to give you a little bit of advice because I just had something happen to a buyer for one of my listings recently where they were all set. We were just days before closing, and then they changed one of the persons on the loan. They didn't need their mom on the loan anymore, so they took her off, and it opened the door for the lender to change the loan program. And the lender came back and charged them an extra $10,000 that they had to bring to closing. And they were, of course, ready to walk away and change lenders and delay it 3 weeks. And it created all this unnecessary drama. They ended up having to pay the $10,000 and close on the house. And they're pretty much, unhappy with their lender. So you don't ever want that to happen. The thing is, once you get a house locked in and a loan locked in, the tips are don't change anything on your loan. Okay. Don't do anything. Keep it steady as you go. Don't go out and buy a car. I've seen people go out and buy a car and have a $1,200 car payment, and then they can't qualify for their house. Same thing with shopping for furniture. This is hilarious to me that people go out, they'll go to AFW or whatever, and they'll pick out their new living room set for their new house and buy it on one of those no payments for 6 months programs. But the problem is it shows up on your credit report as you owing the full balance every single month, and it could derail your pre-approval right before closing. So don't do that. Don't change jobs. Don't do anything like that. You can do all the shopping that you want after closing, and then you don't have to worry about it. But buyers need to evaluate the affordability of the home, what the competition looks like, and we will help you do that. We'll take those things into consideration. So you really want to hire the team that knows how to handle a shifting market, knows how to help you make the winning offer. So you not only get the home, but you get it on your terms and on your timeline. And if you are thinking of selling your home, we have over 27,000 buyers up on our website. If you go to barbhasthebuyers.com, you can download all of our free reports. Or if you're thinking of making a move in the next 2 to 6 months, go to barbhasthebuyers.com, and right in the middle, click on Find My Buyer. There's a video there that explains it, and we'd love to help you make your next move. Richard?
You're listening to The Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And if you are thinking of making a move, give Barb a call at 719-301-3900 or just visit barbhasthebuyers.com. That's barbhasthebuyers.com. Take a short break. When we come back, we'll be talking about what not to fix when you're selling your home. Stay tuned for that.